Hi everybody, welcome to this session for quick approaches. I have selected a few questions from the SIMCAT one. Whenever you need to read the question, pause the recording so that you can read the question carefully. Okay, let's begin. The first question I have selected is the first one. Find the smallest four-digit number having exactly 12 factors. Ideally, if we go by theory, this question could be very lengthy, but we have options. So learn to go by options. 1000 is 10 cube, which is 2 cube, 5 cube. This number will have exactly 4 into 4, 16 factors. So 1000 is out of question. Select the option which has the smallest numbers. Now start moving higher in the ascending order. After 1000, the next option which is the smallest, of course, the options are in the ascending order. So we select 1012. 1012 is, if you see, 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2 is 2. So this is a multiple of 11. So we can rewrite this as 1000 into, 1012 is 11 into 9, 99, remainder 2, so 22, 92. 92 can further be written as 4 into 23. So it is 11 into 4 into 23. So this gives us the prime factorization 2 raised to 2, 11 raised to 1, and 23 raised to 1. The number of factors you can verify is 3 into 2 into 2, 12. And this gives us our answer. So the correct answer is option B. We don't need to verify the others because we have found a number which has exactly 12 factors and is the least among the given numbers. You can verify that 1060 also has 12 factors, but it is not the least. We have a better number. So this is the answer, option B. Learn to use the options. Moving on, the next question is the third question. Time, speed, distance. Read carefully here, read carefully. Now, this question could be very tedious, very lengthy if they had asked us some routine questions. But a 6 line question, as 6.5 line question has become very easy, or rather, let's just call it easy because of a few things. The question is, what is the total distance covered by the bus while traveling towards town B? Towards town B. This is the key part. Only towards B. We do not need to count the distance from B to A. Only from A to B, towards B. So this makes our task very easy. Let's say this is the city A and this is the point B. The bus has started at 6 a.m. from A. It reaches 6:25 at B and restarts from B towards A at 6:30. 5 minutes is the halt, and after every half an hour, it will keep starting. Now at 6:30, our friend Raja also starts from A and he starts cycling. That means somewhere along the line they would have met. We don't need to calculate where because now the bus is moving towards A. The bus is moving towards A. We don't need to worry about the distance traveled in the direction of A. All we need is the distance in the direction B. So till when do I calculate? Till what is the calculating? Do I keep calculating for the whole day? So now first thing we need to know is when does Raja, because the question says first crosses Raja to the moment Raja reaches town B. So when does Raja reach town B? The distance of 20 kilometers is to be covered by Raja at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour, which gives us 4 hours. He has started at 6:30. So he will reach town B exactly at 10:30. So we need to calculate only till 10:30. Now the bus has started at 6:30 from town B. It will reach 6:55. Let's not talk about Raja now. 6:55 is when the bus reaches town B, town A. So from town A, it will start at 7 p.m., 7 a.m., 7:00 a.m. It starts from A towards B. So this is the first journey towards B. When does it reach B? It reaches B at 7:25. At 7:30, it will start from B and move towards A, which we are not counting. It reaches the opposite end at 7:55. We are not worried. Now the bus again starts from A at 8 o'clock and will reach B at 8:25. Okay, so this gives us the value. The bus first moved from 7 o'clock to 7:25, then 8 o'clock, then obviously we can say then 9 o'clock and then 10 o'clock. So from 9 to 9:25 and 10 to 10:25. Luckily 10:25 is smaller than 10:30. So all we have to do is the bus has made 4 movements. It has covered 4 laps from A to B towards the direction of B. Each lap is 20 kilometers. So the bus has traveled 20 into 4, 80 kilometers towards town B after crossing Raja. 80 kilometers. That gives us our answer, option D. Option D is a very easy answer now. This question appears very difficult. 6.5 lines is time consuming to read, but quite easy to solve. So if we are not frightened of theory and reading and understanding, if we have a better comprehension, such questions should be done. But if we have a difficulty in understanding questions, difficulty in reading lengthy questions, such questions should be avoided. This would be the type B, not the type A. At least it is not type C. Okay, next question I've selected is the fourth one. Again, this could have been a little difficult, lengthy, but not very much. This is type B, or at least if not A, it is type B. Probably it is type A. So if anybody who is above 90 percentile, for them, this should have been a type A. The question is the quantity of white paint added. White paint added. That's what makes this question, that gives us the starting point. Where do we start? So the ratio after adding the white paint, the ratio of the 3 paints, pink, yellow, red, pink, yellow, white is 10, 14, 11. So let us take the actual quantity as 10x, 14x, 11x, pink, yellow, white. 11x is the quantity of white added. So if I can find out x now, I can get my answer 11x. So the task now left for me is to find x. Let's understand. I'll try to minimize the number of variables that we need to create. Minimize the number of variables. And we can solve this question with a single variable. Okay, so reading the total volume of paint container after, this is where I'm reading here. The total volume of paint in the container after addition of the white paint is 33 liters less. Some paint is removed and then some paint is added. If equal quantities were added, removed and added, there would be no difference. Initial and final would remain the same. Before white and after white would remain the same. But it says, question says, after white is added, this is 33 liters less. That means we have removed 33 liters more. What did we remove? We have removed 11x plus 33. We have removed 11x plus 33 initially and then added 11x. So the total quantity is reduced by 33 liters. Now the second part says, moreover, from here, the quantity of pink paint removed is 121 less than the quantity of white. So out of this removed, total removed, I need to calculate what is pink. Remember the ratio of pink and yellow is 5:7. So pink removed is 5 by 12th of this quantity. 11x plus 33 is the removed and 5 by 12th. Now this is white minus 121. It is 121 less than the white. So this is equal to 121 minus white, which is 11x. Numbers look a little difficult, but look, everywhere there is an 11. We can cancel out an 11. 11 cancels here, 11 cancels here, we have a 3. 11 cancels here, we have 11, and this 11 cancels out. So cross multiply, take the 12 on the right hand side. We have 5x plus 15 is equal to 12 into 11, 132 minus 12x. Sorry, I think I made a mistake. This should have been 11x minus 121, which will give us 12x minus 132. So this gives us 7x is equal to 132 plus 15, 147. and that gives us x is equal to 21. X is found, so all we need is now 11x. 11 into 21 is 231. That's the answer. 231 liters is the amount of white painted. So not very lengthy, not very difficult. Moderate question. Moving on, I have the sixth question here. Again, if we solve this question by theory, it could take quite a lot of time. Maybe not worth solving if you are fast. Maybe there are other questions. So this is a type B or C. It is definitely not type A if you are solving by theory. If you are solving by theory, this is not type A. But if you can go by options, you can, I mean, this is theta question, you don't have options. But if you can go by options, learn to use options, go by trial and errors. This is a question to be done. So let's see how. There's a cinema which charges 24,000. They have collected 24,000, which has to be some rate of tickets into some number of seats sold. Now the rate has been reduced by A%. The rate is first reduced by A%. And of course, something happens to the seat. And then second change, instead if they had reduced the ticket price by, okay, A is written here, A plus and 17.5 is written here. It's A plus 17.5. So one reduction is A and one reduction is A plus 17.5 percentage. So this brings us to a situation where we need to have some faith in ourselves. 17.5 difference, A and A plus 17.5. So can you think of two numbers which have good settings, good things to be tried out? So if I think of A as 12.5, 1 upon 8, we remember 12.5, then A plus 17.5 becomes 30. Seems to be good. Now, 12.5 reduction and 30 can still be tried. Now, the second part, of course, is that the reduction is 80 rupees. The rate, the initial reduction in the rate per ticket is 80 rupees. So if I say 80 rupees is 8.1 by 8, 12.5%, 1 by 8, the price of the ticket would become 640. 640 is reduced by 1 by 8, it is reduced by 80 rupees. Now, if I take 640 as the rate, I don't think I'll be able to divide 24,000 by 640. Would you be? Okay, let's just try. 24,000, we know it is 8 into 3 into 1,000. So we can divide it by 664, 640. No, there'll be a fraction. 1 0 cancels here, 8 cancels here, and 8 cannot cancel. 100 cannot be cancelled by 8. So this is not a good number to try. Anything else comes to your mind? Okay, first thing, 20 and 17.5 if you add, it becomes 37.5. These are two standard numbers that we have in our list of fractions that we remember. So this is one good trial. Now suppose we don't think of such trials. Let's try on the other end. Suppose I assume the rate to be 100 rupees. Then the number of seats will become 240. 24,000 total. So if there is a reduction of 80 rupees, the new rate will become 20 rupees and A will turn out to be 80%. And the number of seats but is fantastically large, 1,200, which actually is not very small, but it's an increase of 960 seats. We are supposed to have A and A minus 5. Addition of seats should be A minus 5. Well, 80 minus 5 would give us 75. This shows us, this tells us in which direction should I move. Should I try to increase my price A by something, or should I try to decrease it? It should be increased. So let's try 200. Is it worth trying? If I reduce 80 rupees, the price is 120. Again, this gives us integral settings. So maybe it is a good number. Maybe we don't know. So let's see the percentage. The percentage A would be 40%. Reduction of 80 out of 200 is 40%. So what would be the number of seats at that time? The seats would be how much? 200 into 120 and 120 into 200, which gives us an increase of 80 seats. 40 minus 5 is 35. This is still very large. So next number I should try is 300. 300 minus 80 gives me 220. Now 220 is a very odd prime factor in it, 11. I don't need that 11. I'll not have integral answers. So let's try 400. 400 minus 80 is 320. And this 80 out of 400 is a reduction of 20%. So if there are 400 charge, if the ticket is 400, the number of seats at that time would be 24,000 divided by 400, which would be 60 seats. And when there is 320 seats, what would be the rate? What would be the, if 320 is the rate, what would be the number of seats? So it is 400 into 6. Let's not use 24,000. Let's use 400 into 60 by 320. So it's 80 into 5, 80 into 4, 4 into 15 is 60, and we have 75 seats. So this is what gives us a correct setting. We have got our setting. We needed A and A minus 5. So this brings us to A and A minus 5, a right problem that we have. So this is 15 increase of 15 seats, which is 20 minus 5. So we have our right answers. I mean, we have the right numbers. The initial rate is 40, 400, and the final initial number of seats is 60. Now the question says A plus 17.5, which we have already known here, 37.5%. 37.5 is 3 by 8. When there is a reduction of 3 by 8, it becomes 5 by 8. So when the price now from 400 becomes 5 by 8 of 400, the number of seats should become 60 into 8 by 5, which is 96. So it changes from 60 to 96, which gives us our B as 36. A is 20, A is already found to be 20, and B is 36, which then gives us our required answer B minus A, 36 minus 20 as 16. The correct answer to be entered was 16. So with a little bit of trial error, you can solve this question a little faster. First thing, by judgments, knowing your percentages. And second, a few trials. A few trials. So you have to be very fast with your trials. Very fast with your trials. Okay, so moving on to the next question, the ninth one. This is quite easy, very easy. Everybody should have got this. Everybody. A tap can fill a tank in 30 minutes less, not 30 minutes, but 30 minutes less than its usual time. Let the usual time be T. So this time it will be 30 minutes less. Now the question says usual less 30 minutes less than the usual. When operated at 13 by 9 times its normal flow rate, usual flow rate. It is operated at 13 by 9. This is the ratio. When the flow rate becomes 13 by 9, the time to work should become 9 by 13th. When the time becomes 9 by 13th, the saving in the time is 4 by 13th of the usual time. So we are saving 4t by 30. And question says this is 30 minutes. The savings is 30 minutes. So 4t by 13 is 30 minutes. Cancel out a 2. 2t by 13 is 15 minutes. And t is ultimately 15. It's 15, not 70. It looks like 75. But I was writing 15 into 13 upon 2. Please don't multiply such numbers. Leave it like this. Leave it like this. Now let's try to understand. This is the usual time that we have found in minutes. The question says, what is the time required? Not the savings, but what is the time required in minutes for the tap to fill the tank when it is operated at 15 by 14 times the normal flow. If the flow becomes 15 by 14th, the time becomes 14 by 15th. 14 by 15th of the normal would be 14 by 15 into 15 into 13 by 2. And that's, see, we have a savings. We didn't need to multiply. So it simply is 13 into 7, 91 minutes. That's your answer. 91 minutes was to be added. Oh, question which can be solved very fast. Usually time work is not very difficult chapter. Things can be done quite fast. Okay, moving on. This is the last question that I have selected. So we are told here the only problem, first thing of course we are told is the height of the triangle is 8, whereas the base is 9. So we can quickly calculate the area of the triangle as half base height, half 8, 9, which is 36. The area of the whole triangle is 36 square units. And of course it is given as centimeters. So 36 centimeters square is the area of the whole triangle. Now the key part here is the ratio of division. We are told BE is twice of AE. So if I assume AE to be X, BE is 2X. And the ratio of course is 1:2. On the other side, it looks like 1:3. But remember, it's a total 1:3. This is where there's a small way of trying to manipulate the data. Length of AC is 3 times AD. AC is the total length. If AD is Y, the total length AC is 3Y, which gives us DC as 2Y. So on both the sides, the two sides are divided in the same proportion, 1:2, 1:2. Basic proportionality theorem. If you remember, if both the sides are divided in the same proportion, the length ED, the segment ED has to be parallel to the base. ED has to be parallel to the base. So it is division in the same. This gives us a trapezium here. ED is parallel to the line BC. And what we have is a trapezium. Okay. So now the first thing we do is calculate the area of the triangle. I have not labeled. You can see the figure is the same, but I'll first divide it into two parts. So we have this. If this is 1 and this is 2, the total is 3. We know already. So the ratio of triangles, the similarity, ratio of similarity of triangles is 1/3. So the ratio of areas of the triangle will be the square of this, and it will be 1/9. The smaller triangle at the top has an area 1/9 of the total. So 36 and 1/9 of 36 gives us 4. The area of the top triangle is 4. What we need now is the area of this triangle. That's the question. This is what we need. Okay. So this is the trapezium we know. And now we'll use the rules of trapezium. The ratio of similarity was 1:3. That means if this side is X, this side would, okay, let's write Z, not X, because we have used X somewhere else. So let's say if this side were Z, the base would be 3Z. And we don't need Z actually, we just need 1 and 3. So if this side is 1, the ratio will give us, this side would be 3. 1:3. The parallel sides are in the ratio of 1:3. This gives us a fantastic situation. The areas of these four triangles, when you draw the two diagonals, the areas of the triangles are in the ratio what? 1 square, 1:3, and 3 square. Of course, these two are always equal. So this brings us to 1:3:3:9. 1:3:3:9, which gives us a total of 16. Now, when the top triangle is 4 centimeter square and the total triangle is 36, the trapezium at the bottom must be 32 centimeter square. Now, what we found from our ratios 1, 3, 3, 9 is a total of 16. So we don't need 16, we need 32 at the total as the total. So all we need to do is multiply the numbers by 2. 2, 6, 6, 18. And our focus is 2. The area of this triangle is 2 here. That gives us the required area of the top part, AEOD, ADOE. This is 4 plus 2, 6. The required area is 6 units, 6 square centimeters. So 6 is the answer. Option B would be the right answer. Okay, so that's it. Just a few questions which I had selected. Keep working hard. Keep focusing on better approaches. Keep learning theory and keep maximizing your rough work. Make sure that your rough work is optimally least. Okay, best of luck for the future SIMCATs.